And good afternoon from a windy Parramatta Stadium on what could be an historic day for rugby league today, where the Parramatta Eels take on the North Queensland Cowboys, with Jason Taylor destined to become the greatest point scorer in Australian rugby league history. The Parramatta side, Jason Moody and Ben Duckworth are out of their originally named team. We see that Luke Burt goes in onto the wing, and also into the forwards comes Michael Vella, while Jason Kalis goes back to the interchange bench and PJ Marsh gets a call up onto the bench. The coach is Brian Smith. Their opponents this afternoon, the North Queensland Cowboys, and again only the one change. Julian O'Neill still not recovered from a foot injury. He's out. His place in the centres is taken by Jeff Bell. The coach of the Cowboys is Murray Hurst. Mark Oaten, the referee for this afternoon. This very strong southerly wind, some showers coming in as well. Fortunately, at the moment, the ground is bathed in sunlight. Let's hope it stays that way for the remainder of this afternoon. But North Queensland running into the gale in the first half. And an anti-climax with the wind blowing that ball off the mound. So Trent Lease gets the game underway. Parramatta leading the Telstra Premiership. North Queensland battling to stay away from the wooden spoon. And Nathan Kalis tackled just inside his 20. Remembering, of course, that this corresponding game last year provided an upset when North Queensland beat Parramatta, but then had the 2 points taken off them for having had an extra man on the field at one stage.
Wait with me.
The Eels, 15 metres inside their own territory.
Tackle 4.
Ball to be played back by Jamie Lyon. Jason Taylor, his first kick with the breeze behind him, driving it towards the touchline. Dropping back for it is Matthew Bowen, and the little fullback now runs into trouble as he's put to ground in the tackle of Lyon, just 15 metres out from his own line.
Very good set there by the Parramatta side, just making sure they get their first set away and try and turn North Queensland around as quick as possible. Got plenty of breeze behind them. Be interested to see how now they hold it in their set of 6.
Brian Jallick being tackled by Michael Vella. Came into this game late. He had a badly broken nose last week. It was thought it would keep him out, but he's passed a fitness test, Vella, so comes straight back into the starting lineup today.
4 tackles.
Ball played back by George Gattis. Ball very close to being forward to Jamie McDonald.
5. All the way to me.
Final tackle now coming up for the Cowboys. Chris Shepherd kicks into the wind. That's the reason that it holds up. Waiting for it, Brett Hodgson. Been in marvellous form for the Eels this year, Brett Hodgson.
Here's 10.
Probably doesn't get the raps of some of the other representative players, but what a year he's had.
It's 2. It's me now.
They're 22 metres out from their own line, the Eels. The last meeting, Cowboys a 14-all draw with the Eels up at Dairy Farmer Stadium.
Tackle 4. Stand again. Clear.
With 10 inside their own half. Drew going from dummy half to pick up Nathan Kalis, the Eels skipper. He's almost to halfway. Final tackle on its way, and Brad Drew just stabs this ball low out towards Trent Lease. Comes outside his own 20. So he runs into the tackle of Michael Butner.
I think everyone's just waiting for the Parramatta side to break open and start scoring points. It's very, very quiet with the crowd, but they're just not getting off their line as quick as I thought they may do, Parramatta, and put some pressure right on the North Queensland players straight from the word.
Unfortunately, the weather conditions have probably kept the crowd down to what the Parramatta club would have hoped for, but with the rain and the strong winds. But still, there are a lot of people here today and wearing the special headgear with the goalposts in honour of Jason Taylor. Now the final tackle. Matthew Bowen. His kick is taken in the field of play by Hodgson. He then ran back into his own in goal, but of course had taken it in the field of play. Therefore, play had to continue.
Tackle 2.
Just outside their own 20. Oh, that was a good tackle there. Poor Bowman. Tremendous effort.
On Ian Hindmarsh. As his defence has been absolutely outstanding, Paul Bowman. Brad Drew going into dummy half and elects to send Jamie Lyon on a run down the blind side. That run is stopped in the tackle of Trent Lease. Now the last tackle on its way for the Eels. Butner his kick, putting it over the head of Jellick, and Bowen standing back almost at his own line. Even though that was only a relatively gentle kick, the breeze getting behind it. Bowen had to stand back near his own line so that he'd be in a position to take it. Although the interesting thing probably is in the first division game this afternoon, which was won by North Queensland over Parramatta 22-18, North Queensland led 18-0 running against the breeze, so most of the points and then Parramatta's comeback were all scored against the wind. Murray Hurst, the coach there of the North Queensland Cowboys, I suppose indicates, Gary Freeman, that even though you do have a gale behind you, sometimes you can read too much into it and perhaps think that the wind's going to do all the work for you.
Well, I just think that North Queensland are just trying to play out their set of six and make sure that they try and hold on to the ball as much as possible. Just had under 5 minutes of the game go, John, and we haven't made a mistake here. This is the first penalty that has been given for holding down on Jamie Lyon. I'll tell you what, I just think that they need to spark up here, the Parramatta side, and try and stop these guys. I think if North Queensland can score, I'll just rattle a few of them.
Tim Maddison had an excellent game last week against the Dragons, and he will have to show the way today, given that their number 1 forward, Glenn Morrison, is out injured with a sternum injury, and they will certainly miss him. Now given away by Hannay, and then on to Shepherd, and away to Bowman. Bowman getting into a half break. He was dragged to ground only 5 metres out from the line by Butner. Chris Shepherd goes to the blind side. Jellick has lost it. Comes back into the clutches then of Luke Burt. Third into the starting lineup today, with Jason Moody dropping out of the 17. Andrew Ryan on his own 20 is where he plays the ball. Jason Taylor running it, and then is caught and put to ground in the tackle of Hetherington. Lyon again. Had a lot of work to do so far, Jamie Lyon. Crusher Cleal, who is in charge of their recruiting here for Parramatta, watching on anxiously today. Good kick with the breeze. Jason Taylor with a little bit of claret coming from a head knock.
That was in the tackle previous by Hetherington. It put the pressure on him, but this will be a 40-20. The referee did say it's a tremendous kick. Does get them on the front foot here to maybe come up with something exciting from the back line. I know that Violecki can certainly get on the outside of his man, and Bowman, I think, will be the man they will target to try and get outside of him. Interesting to note, they've got Jason Taylor at 5'8", Butner at fullback, Violecki out in the centres, and Hodgson feeding the scrum.
Andrew Ryan trying to storm his way through. He's 5 metres out from the line. Jason Taylor runs in to be the dummy half. Away to Drew. Comes back in towards the ruck. That's where he's held on to. On the second tackle, Nathan Hindmarsh. Only centimetres out from the line. Plays it back to Drew. Now to Taylor. Taylor almost through.
I'll tell you what, they've set this up for Jason Taylor to try and score the first try. They go wide once again on the right side.
Now away to Hodgson. Hodgson trying to get his way through. Back on the inside. Going to be picked up by Michael Butner. And he's over. In his 100th first grade game for Parramatta, Michael Butner scores the try. And now Jason Taylor will have a relatively easy attempt to become the point-scoring record holder.
And put it all down to that 40-20 that Jason Taylor did get in. It was a tremendous kick. They'd actually set this up a little bit earlier. Good work by Hodgson to go nice and wide. Turns the ball back inside. Picks up Butner, who travelled back to be fullback. That's very good work now by the Parramatta. So just watch the North Queensland side. They start the slide. The little hooker, he goes nice and low. Too low, which allows Butner to go over. Then he's very happy. Swapping a little bit of blood there, as you said.
Michael Butner, special day for him, given that he was a Parramatta junior, started his career here, and today plays his 100th first grade game for the club. He scores the try, and now the moment that this crowd have been waiting for. Jason Taylor to write himself into rugby league history.
I don't know if anyone's going to give him the ball back. Plenty of kids waiting behind the post here, John, to try and catch this ball.
Goes through the customary warm-up, Jason Taylor. Nothing's changed. That is the record.
Isn't that great to see the mark up go there straight away, the referee, and a few fans that come onto the field. Well, I know they'll be happy with him. All those players get over there and they blow time off.
Some of the crowd running onto the field to congratulate Jason Taylor. Well, the game in Australia spans some 93 years, from the legendary Dally Messenger to a long list of time-honoured names right up to the modern-day superboot Darryl Halligan. But this unassuming little man, Jason Taylor, is now the greatest Australian rugby league point scorer of them all. A magnificent achievement. JT, from everybody in the game of rugby league, congratulations on a marvellous effort.
But now we've got to get back on with the game, and North Queensland does kick off.
And I'm sure he'll be feeling a lot better now. The pressure's off him, Jason Taylor. 6-0 Parramatta lead North Queensland. And Parramatta have a new shorts sponsor from this week. It's Volkswagen. And they said if Jason Taylor breaks the record within the first 15 minutes, they would be donating $500 to Jason Taylor's favourite charity. So Volkswagen will be providing $500. Jason Taylor will name that charity at the end of the game.
Quicker. There's a mark there. Dathan.
Penalty to Parramatta. And the man of the moment, Jason Taylor, kicks for touch with the breeze. Good kick, takes it up just outside the 20 of North Queensland. Ryan giving his pass across field. Came through Kalis. Played back by Vella. Now back once more on the short side to Nathan Hindmarsh.
Hands off.
He's 9 metres out from the line. Drew goes to the blind side, then away to Luke Burt. Jellett chased him in field. Bowman came across as well to help. Away through Hodgson. Then on to Taylor. Passing behind Michael Buettner. Buettner now trying to get on the outside of the defence. Jamie Lyon coming back on the inside. Had Andrew Ryan with him. Ball's gone loose. Dived on by North Queensland. Brett Hetherington coming up with it in a Cowboys ball.
And very lucky there for the North Queensland side that Brett Hetherington did come up with the ball, but once they get in this 25, Parramatta looking very, very dangerous with the ball in their hand.
25 metres out from their own line, North Queensland. Peter Jones. The Eels leading by 6 points to 0. Jamie McDonald ran into a tough tackle from Michael Vella. Shepherd. Chris Shepherd's kick. Just trying to put it between winger and fullback. Hodgson comes up with it. Jamie Lyon to play it. Just short of half wide. Hodgson. Looking to step his way past Hannay, who makes the tackle on him, but he still picked up some 15 metres. Blindside once more. And again to Jamie Lyon.
Really peppering those short sides, aren't they? The Parramatta side know that they come out nice and wide out here. There's very, very short on the blind.
Nathan Kalis. Inside the 20. In fact, he's only 15 metres out from the line, and the final tackle is on its way. Drew runs it, then throws a bad pass. Buettner did well to pick that up. The kick, though, will have the breeze behind it. Goes too deep, and the Cowboys come back to the 20 for the restart.
You just see that Bryce with the certainly has done his homework on this North Queensland side, knowing that their short side will just stay back and they accept that Parramatta will probably try and go to the open as much as possible to Jason Taylor, but making plenty of metres down that short side.
They've been under pressure pretty much, North Queensland, from the start, as Daniel Strickland has tackled. The kicking game of Parramatta with the aid of the breeze, just keeping them pinned down inside their own territory, and they're really finding it hard to work their way out. Shepherd back to Bowman, got in behind Peter Jones. It's almost a Shepherd by Shepherd. You know all about that, Kiwi, the old sheep farmer. You'd know about that, wouldn't you?
Oh, please, leave me alone. I knew that was going to be coming, John. That's why I stayed right away from it.
George Gaddis at dummy half. Then to Bowen. His kick just sits up in the breeze for Hodgson. You could really call it a breeze. I think you have to call it the southerly buster. The pass, which has gone back for David Violecki, slipped away from Shepherd. It's 32 out from his own line, Violecki. Just no-nonsense football now by Parramatta as Nathan Hindmarsh is tackled. Vella puts on the speed as he tried to crash his way through the tackle of Gattis, but Madison came in to help. And a penalty.
No, you're not coming all the way back. You're not coming all the way back. No, you weren't. 3 in a row.
Brett Hetherington, the player most at fault there, that Mark Oaten had a reason to penalise.
Josh! Here, Brett!
Once more, they're back up inside the 20 as Nathan Kalis crashes it to only 8 metres out from the line. Parramatta leading by 6 points to 0. Ryan goes back to the blind side. Now the ball is going to be lost forward. Couldn't be controlled by Ian Hindmarsh, so a let-off for the Cowboys, and Trent Least to play at 10 out from his own line.
That's one thing that the Parramatta side have been doing over the last couple of games, is really controlling their ball so well, but now North Queensland have got it. I'll tell you what, Peter Jones is doing a tremendous amount of work out there. That is the man playing the ball. Plenty of hit-ups so far in the game. And some of his other forwards just follow suit as Bowman nearly gets on the outside of Violecki.
Plays it 10 on his own side of halfway. Now to McDonald. Looks to spin through the tackle. Held on to by Nathan Hindmarsh. And slowly to his feet, Jamie McDonald. Just got a knock in that tackle. As he limps away, Matthew Bowen now tries to get through the little man.
Hands up!
Chase though and put to ground and draws a penalty.
Leg. You pulled it up in the air.
Ian Hindmarsh there, the man who gets caught, just saying, the referee saying, there you are, you're holding his leg, you've got to let him go. I said, play the ball. Bowen, I tell you what, he saw a little bit of space out there too, John. Big men don't move up on him quickly, he can make some yards.
There's nothing of him, Matthew Bowen, but he was an extremely talented young player. So the best opportunity probably the Cowboys have had so far on the second tackle, and they're up inside the 20 now. Gattis, the dummy half, sends his pass on to Nick Patterson. Big man Patterson plays at 10 from the line. Now to Strickland. Strickland runs it, tries to go himself. Parramatta defence, though, is equal to the task. From Gattis, on to Shepherd, then to Hannay. Josh Hannay thought he saw an opening. Close quickly, though, from Ian Hindmarsh.
Put the hand on the ball. Get off. Wait for the mark.
Penalty goes to North Queensland. And deciding what they'll do, well, they'll kick into the wind for a penalty. They won't. They'll take the tap. And Patterson tries to drive it towards the line himself. He's 2 metres out. Madison using the little run around with Gattis. He didn't do it with much conviction, though, George Gattis. He was fairly easily put to ground by the Eels defence. Jones. He tries to get his way through. Underneath Nathan Hindmarsh, first to make the tackle. Hannay, away to Shepherd, tries to push off Jason Taylor. 5 metres out. 4 tackles gone for the Cowboys. Bowman gives it to a running Tim Madison. Good defence by the Eels. Last is coming up now for the Cowboys. Hannay, left foot kick, holding up in the breeze.
10 metres, you're in front of the kicker all the time, never retired to 10.
Taken by Nathan Hindmarsh, but the Cowboys in front of the kicker, relieving penalty for the Eels, and with the wind behind them, they'll drive this well out from their own line.
I must say that's an absolutely terrible kick. He needed to go to the line to put the ball on the ground, but one thing against Parramatta, what you cannot do, and what North Queensland did in that set of 6, right on their line, just run the ball one out. They needed to create some spaces for the men on the outside. They never once they looked to throw it too wide, as now the Parramatta side do out to Buechner.
Go wide immediately from Buechner, then away to Jamie Lyon. He's got the former Cowboy and Scott Donald with him. Calls Donald back on the inside. Oh, what a good player this young kid is turning out to be. He'll love scoring that against his old club. Scott Donald, a North Queensland boy, but playing for the Eels against his old club, scores a very good try.
Well, that comes down to the lack of ability and creativity around that ruck here. Near the try line against Parramatta, North Queensland had to do some things on the edge of the ruck. They decided to take the quick tap, but this is what they should have done. They should have gone a couple of passes wide, create some havoc. And real the speed merchant once again gets on the outside of the number 6 and Josh Hannay, and away goes Jamie Lyon and McDonald. Does a magnificent job, Scott Donald, I should say. Tremendous effort there going wide on the second and third tackle. Had no answer in defence.
Two from two today for Jason Taylor, the new Australian Rugby League point-scoring record holder. And Parramatta now lead the Cowboys by 12 points to nil midway through the first half.
I must say, Chris Shepherd, the number 7 for North Queensland, he's just got to make sure he gets in there, starts directing the traffic around that ruck area. They're very short on that far left-hand side. Josh Hannay, the number 6 man, he's the man to come out of the line. Need to stay together with his centre pairing and Jeff Bell. They didn't. That created the problem there. And that allowed Scott Donald to come up with a try for the Parramatta Eels.
Luke Burt. Given away by Kalis to Taylor. Jason Taylor is on his own 30. Butner. Ian Hindmarsh. 12 short of halfway. Again, down that right-hand side, Jamie Lyon, then away to Donald, back inside to Hindmarsh. Then Jamie Lyon getting underneath a swinging arm, and they'll draw a penalty.
Josh Hannay as well, Tim. Tim, just come here. Here, just wait here, Tim. Again, mate, you miss, but just be aware of where your arm's swinging over the top, right? Okay, back up there. Just take him down. There's no need to go anywhere near the head, right?
No mistake from Jason Taylor.
And that is what's hurting the North Queensland side now, the mistakes they are making. The other is that they're getting very, very well caught on that right-hand attack of Parramatta, which is the left-hand defence of North Queensland. They're all rushing up and playing up and in style of defence. You cannot do that. And once they get on the outside, they're very hard to stop the Parramatta Eels.
14 points to nil it is in favour of Parramatta. With 18 minutes remaining in the first half here at Parramatta Stadium. Hodgson trying to work his way through the middle of the ruck. Drew looked one way, then picked up Vella out on his left and then away from Jason Taylor. Ball played back by Hindmarsh, then away to Drew. Violecki pushed away from Shepherd, got his pass back inside to Taylor. Given away once more to Kalis, brilliantly kept alive. Great ball skills for Hodgson coming in from fullback. Made it look easy. It's not, that we tell you. They put a lot of work into their skills and they're showing. Here's Jamie Lyon again. He's having a terrific day and causing all sorts of problems out there for Jeff Bell. Jason Taylor. His kick. Matthew Bowen takes it in the in goal. Took it well. That was a hard one to take. With the wind behind that, the little fella knew that the Parramatta chasers were after it, and he took it extremely well.
One clear, hands off,
Paul Bowman. 32 metres out from his own line. Now to Jones.
2 hands off again.
Nathan Hindmarsh first there to meet him and makes the tackle. Nick Patterson. Just short of halfway is where he plays the ball to Gaddis. Madison gets over the halfway mark.
Get up.
Given away by Hannay. Bowen coming up into the line. Butner is there for the ball and all tackle on the Cowboys fullback. Last coming up. Hannay's kick. Taken by Hodgson, 10 out from his own line. And immediately given to Violecki, tries to struggle over the top of Brian Jellick. Tell you what, had he got away from Jellick, there was pretty much open space in front of him.
The leg, Brian.
Well, I don't know what's happened in the game of rugby league, John, but I tell you what, this has happened probably every game I've been watching now. Everyone is picking the leg up and bringing it around, trying to slow the ball down. So I don't know why they'll probably end up sending someone to the bin for it. It happens in every game.
I think in that occasion, the referee was quite right. He did pull the leg. I think Jellick possibly realised that if it was a quick play the ball, they were very short in defence out on that side. Jamie Lyon, again for Jason Taylor. Taylor's kick, putting it behind Bowen. Donald is able to get it and go and score a second. We'll go to the video referee. who this afternoon is Chris Ward. But Scott Donald...
Last set, it was back around the halfway mark. It was a dummy run that went through.
He's just looking once again, as I said, on the left-hand side. The defence is playing an up and in style. And what they put the ball in behind a runner who may have taken out Josh Hannay. They're just going to go back and have a quick look at that's the play there. I don't think anything's wrong with that.
That's it.
Hetherington, I think Josh Hannay made the wrong decision by coming in. I think that is play on. I don't think that will be a drama. Great work by Jamie Lyon to keep the ball alive. Started by Jason Taylor, put the ball in behind. We're just going to have a quick another look at it now. See the runner there, I think is Ian Highmarsh goes through. I think that's fine. I think Josh Hannay has made the wrong decision. The wrong decision again. I think that's around about the third time today, John.
No problem whatsoever with that. I mean, if that was called back, just about every try this day, these days would be called back. Taylor's kick ahead, Bowen and Donald then getting into a race for it, set up perfectly for Scott Donald to score his second try.
You just see there the number 12, Ian Highmarsh, did a magnificent job in holding those players up, and this is a tremendous kick here by Jason Taylor. Bounces up beautifully for Donald, and that will be another 4-pointer.
Here comes Chris Ward, the video referee's decision. Try it is to Scott Donald, his second of the day. A lot of the credit in there again has to go to Jamie Lyon, the young kid from Weewall. What a great season he is having. And he's having a wow of a game this afternoon, causing the Cowboys' left-hand side defence just all sorts of problems every time he has it.
Well, they're not really reading what's in front of them. They need to hold their line. Josh Hannay, as I've already said, came in and allowed Michael Buechner to get on the outside of him. Once he got on the outside of him, there's plenty of room for Jamie Lyon to do his magical stuff. I think he was pulling off the grenade there with the ball. Scott Donald scored 2 today. Career is 10.
On touch on the eastern side, and the breeze coming straight down the ground. Kicking across this wind, he's allowed for that. It's hit the upright, bad luck. No goal by Jason Taylor, but it's 18 points to 0 in favour of the Eels over the Cowboys. Just mentioning that wind, Gary Freeman, I think right at this moment, it's probably not as strong as it was earlier in the afternoon.
It has seemed to die down, hasn't it? And you can tell, he's away. He was so unlucky there, Hodgson. He nearly got away there. Brian Jetta comes up with a great tackle there for North Queensland.
Daniel Wagon, back after being injured in the state of origin, but now to Buechner, celebrating his 100th first-grade game for the Eels, and is having a ripper today, Michael Buechner, and gets to only a few metres out from the line where he's tackled. Quick play the ball, away to Brad Drew, misses out a couple, straight over the top for Nathan Highmarsh, who will go in and score the easiest of tries. Now, this is interesting. The try's been given. Chris Shepherd, this could be an 8-point try if he has interfered with the try scorer after he scored.
You want him? Brett, just come out. Brett Hetherington! Brett, just come out.
Here's the bus once again, getting on the outside of Josh Hannay, who's not having a happy day with his defence. He's a lot better than that.
In the back play in the lead up to that try, I believe this player was well aware that the ball had been passed, but continued on with his tackle and backslammed the player. As they separated, okay, the other player may have been the aggressor, and there was a little bit of a tit and tat. But from what's happened here, we are watching this back play, and he did throw the play.
Okay, just cool it down, yeah. Okay, just think about it, right? Thanks.
No, the try's been given. I thought he spoke just to Chris Shepherd. Highmarsh wasn't happy with what Shepherd did after the try was scored.
It's a great long ball, isn't it? Tremendous vision there. And you'll just see here, Chris, he puts the ball down there, and he comes in, just dives in there with the shoulder. Well, he took a little bit of exception to it, but the referee fixed it up straight away. But once again, Brad Drew, tremendous vision there to get the ball out nice and wide there to Nathan Highmarsh. And here he is to add to the other 2 points.
His first kick from the left-hand side of the field for Jason Taylor. And over. Another good kick by Jason Taylor. And it's all the Parramatta Eels. At just under a point a minute, they lead by 24 points to 0. The referee just having a quick word to Chris Shepherd. That's the circumstance where you can see an 8-point try, with the try being awarded, and then if the referee had decided that there was an illegality on the try scorer after he'd scored, he could have given a penalty under the post. He didn't.
That's a rare mistake there by Brett Hodgson. It's a tremendous game, especially on that right-hand side.
Just get nice and
Dictating
tight,
in
man.
at Jason.
Seconds in.
Josh Hannay just takes his eye off the ball. Just a little bit unlucky there.
Hold there, outside foot, yeah.
But for the first 15 to 20 minutes of this game, I thought North Queensland was certainly going to make a game of it. But now 24-0 down. They need to score in this set of 6 to make a game of it.
Paul Bowman trying to cut his way through. He's 9 metres out on the first tackle. Shepherd gives it to Madison, running to the short side of the ruck. Well defended, though, by Michael Butner. Hetherington runs to the line, stands, then loses the ball, and immediately picked up by Nathan Hindmarsh.
Yeah, just trying to force the ball there, North Queensland. They didn't need to do that. I want to make sure they got another set of 6 back at Parramatta. Now they go on the short side once again. Over the top comes Hetherington on PJ Marsh. Welcome to, and he steps off the mark. Well, that is a penalty. Dead set, that is a penalty. You cannot step off the mark like that.
You're quite right, Gary. He did take a step forward, which he's not, of course, entitled to do. Jason Kalis off the interchange bench is 5 short of halfway where he plays the ball. Drew goes one way, then the other. Chips over the top for PJ Marsh to chase. The Cowboys, though, able to get back for it. Peter Jones will play it. 32 metres out from his own line. Bowen.
Interesting to note the way the North Queensland are playing. You can see them all huddled around there where the ball is. They need to spread themselves out, get away from the ball to make sure they can attack the fringes of the ruck, but they stay nice and close on that. Parramatta, the fence around their rucky will eat them up. Daniel
Strickland plays it. They get over halfway now, the North Queensland Cowboys. Nick Patterson playing the ball. Nathan Feen jolted in a very tough tackle. He was hit in the tackle of Jason Kalis. Then immediately, it's going to be just the easiest of Parramatta tries. Hindmarsh will go in and score his second try, Nathan Hindmarsh, in the matter of only a couple of minutes. But it came from a tremendous hit on Nathan Feen to spill the ball, and Hindmarsh simply said, "Thank you very much, that's mine."
Well, I'll tell you, the other big thing was North Queensland. They didn't even look like they wanted the ball when it was knocked out. Nathan Feen was going to be playing out by the referee. They needed to get on the ball as quick as possible. Here's the little guy decided he's going to take him on and try and put them back into the game. Great hit there by Jason Kalis. It pops out. Then it's play on. A great pick up there. And Nathan Hindmarsh, he just runs 55 metres. No one in sight for North Queensland and puts it right underneath the black dot.
Good skills, Nathan Hindmarsh, to pick up that ball, but a terrific tackle by Jason Kalis to jolt that ball free of Nathan Feen. Under the post goes Nathan Hindmarsh. As the rain starts to come down here, making conditions rather miserable at Parramatta Stadium. Hodgson from in front. It's there by Brett Hodgson, and it's all the Eels. 30 points to 0 they lead the Cowboys, and we're still 8 minutes out from half-time.
There's the tackle there by Jason Kalis, and the referee's probably saying that ball was intentionally hit by Kalis and making that big, strong tackle. So that allows Hindmarsh to be onside. If he had intentionally attacked the ball, then he would have been penalised for offside.
Matthew Bowen takes the restart. This rain getting quite heavy at the moment. Drops into the clutches of Daniel Wagon. Wagon tackled by Valentine. They're on their own 30 now, Parramatta. David Violecki being pushed back a little. Solomona. His first touch in the game for David Solomona. Peter Jones, the tackler. Just when we said that wind may have died off, it's really started to lift again as the rain comes down, and it's just driving this rain straight down the ground behind Parramatta as once more Solomona is tackled. Brad Drew. Good work by Drew. Down the blind side. Violecki to chase. Keeps the ball on the boot, but too far. He's just had his contract with Manchester United cancelled, David Violecki. The thought was right. but with the wind behind it, just the gentlest of kicks and straight over the dead ball line it went.
I just think that North Queensland now are looking forward to making sure they get to half-time without another try being scored against them, because Parramatta, they look ominous. I thought the rain may try and slow them down a fraction, but they're willing to put them away, try and get 30 on the board. Well, they got 30 on the board, try and get a couple more before half-time.
Jason Taylor on the bench with his Parramatta teammates, and it may be raining and it may be windy and very unpleasant, but Jason Taylor will be feeling no pain at all. He'll be a very happy man, and quite rightly. Terrific milestone. Only 3 players in history who've gone past 2,000 points, and now Jason Taylor heads them all. This is Patterson.
Line first.
Kicked ahead by Daniel Strickland. Brett Hodgson just lost his footing, but turned it around brilliantly. Brett Hodgson then is able to whip his pass inside. PJ Marsh gets 10 metres inside North Queensland territory. Great skills by Brett Hodgson. I think he not only came from a standing start, he slipped and was down almost on his knees. The 2-try scorer, Nathan Hindmarsh, plays the ball. It's all the Eels. Hodgson again. He's loving this. He's just such a good player in broken play. Jamie Lyon, this time tackled by Bell. Now another dual try scorer in this game, Scott Donald. They're up to the 20 of North Queensland. Infield to Solomona. Another long pass to Michael Butner. Butner thrown to ground on tackle number 5 by Brett Hetherington. Luke Burt. Burt uses the kick back on the inside. It's still loose. Eventually it's going to be dived on by Matt Bowen. And the moment he got it, Luke Burt, following that kick through, was able to put the fullback to ground. Brian Jellick just 10 metres out from his own line. Here's Bowman. No support with him, but he does make some 15 metres to try and get them out of danger territory. Peter Jones. 12 short of halfway is where he plays it. Michael Luck, his first touch, just come onto the field from the bench. Nathan Feen, he got that kick away, and the moment he did, he was hit by PJ Marsh. Now it'll be interesting to see if there's a touch judge's report. There is from Steve Nash.
PJ, I think he's gone high, and I think there's a suspicion of an elbow. Is that very?
Sorry?
Is that very?
I believe so.
Okay. PJ.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe this player has attacked the head of the kicker after it's left. I believe he's moved the arm or elbow away from the body, and the point of the elbow has come in contact with the player's face.
Okay.
That was the same I saw. I saw the elbow raised away from the body and also hit the face.
See you, PJ. You go.
He's gone. He's set off. PJ Marsh set off for a late high tackle. Use of an elbow in a late tackle on Nathan Feen. So PJ Marsh, himself close to being a North Queenslander. He comes from Central Queensland, but set off for a high tackle on Nathan Feen. So the Eels are a man short, but they do lead by 30 points to 0. The Cowboys, 4 minutes from half-time. Daniel Strickland, 5 metres out from the line, plays it back to Gattis. Gattis's pass, loose on the ground, dived on by Feen, showed no ill effects from that hit by PJ Marsh. Now away to Paul Bowman. Defence holds, that's 5 tackles gone. Played to Gattis, in behind the line, away to Nathan Feen. Feen's kick, trying to get it to hold up in the breeze, but again, coming across is Scott Donald. Well thought out and well read in defence by Scott Donald to take that ball in the in goal and save the North Queenslanders coming through. Taken over the dead ball line. It will be a goal line dropout, but well cleaned up by Scott Donald. So the goal line dropout. You would think with the breeze behind them they'd go for long ones, but this one has gone into touch. That means, of course, that Parramatta will get the feed to this scrum. A short drop out, and if a ball goes into play from a set start, bounces into touch from a set play, then the team kicking the ball gets the feed. So it'll be Brett Hodgson who'll work this scrum for the Eels. $30 points to 0. Parramatta leading North Queensland, but Parramatta a man short with PJ Marsh sent from the field for a late high tackle and the use of an elbow in that late tackle on Nathan Feen. Here's Solomona. Tackle made on him by Daniel Strickland. Violecki.
Tackle 4, hands away.
Anxious North Queensland coach Murray Hurst looking at the clock, waiting for half-time to come. Just a minute and a half away. Kicked ahead by Michael Buettner. Feen going back for it. Daniel Wagon almost got over the top of for Nathan Feen. Feen's able to hold on to it. Now Trent Lease. Luck. Out on the left-hand side. And 11 inside his own territory. Gattis. Almost up to halfway. Peter Jones. Crosses the halfway mark for the Cowboys. Feen. His pass across to Matt Bowen. Drops it on the boot. Hodgson goes back for it. Scott Donald dropped back just to help his fullback, but Hodgson really didn't need any help. Brett Hodgson plays the ball. Donald comes in field. 9 from halfway is where he plays it. Now to Solomona. David Solomona. 1 metre inside his own half, plays the ball.
Tackle 4. Here I am, Daniel, all the way.
Drew. Alex again to go to the short side. Puts up a little kick. Batted back, but goes into the clutches of Shepherd. The North Queensland halfback tackled on the first. Just near halfway. Now away to Nathan Feen. Over the halfway mark. Wild pass, though. Goes behind Bell. Then goes behind Lease and goes into touch. And that will take us to half-time. All Parramatta, and a day that has belonged to Jason Taylor. Half-time here at Parramatta. It's the Parramatta Eels 30, the North Queensland Cowboys 0.
Actually, it'll be interesting at what Bryson does do with Jason Taylor throughout the rest of the match. There he is there, still on the bench. We're trying to save him. He knows there's some very important games that are coming up, especially when they get to the semi-final stage.
I suppose, Gary, that shoulder injury, which he suffered last week and has troubled him during the week, if there was any problems with it, well, he's much better off just staying there if they don't need him and give himself another week to get that shoulder right. They are in front by 30-0, even though they are a man short.
I think that's where Bryce had to weigh it up. Just going to give him an extra 7 days to recuperate and look after the little guy.
The Cowboys, 10 on their own side of halfway.
3 now, stand clear. Wait.
Nick Patterson gets over the halfway mark. Back to Matt Bowen. Bowen is caught by Daniel Wagon and held on to. Now the last tackle coming up. Gattis drops back to be the dummy half. The kick put downfield by Nathan Feen. Bounces up for Scott Donald. Dives forward, takes it well and makes sure of it, and then makes some 10 metres before he's caught by Bell. Hodgson. A pass to nobody by Brett Hodgson. Then lost by Parramatta. So a double knock-on, rules referee Mark Oaten.
And just see there, Brett Hodgson trying to go wide straight away on that first tackle, knowing that North Queensland were moving up very, very slowly. There was a little bit of a hole on the edge of the ruck once again.
That's all. No, we have one out. Yep. In.
Nathan Feen working the scrum for the Cowboys. 30 metres from the line to Shepherd, then to Bowen. Looking to get on the outside of the defence, but chased by Michael Buettner. Strickland. His pass. Lost by Michael Luck.
I'll be disappointed with that. Through their points to the spot, this is where the scrum will be. These are sort of mistakes that you don't need this early in the game. Michael Luck coming up with a bad error there.
So Brett Hodgson up feeding the scrum.
Isn't that the beauty about Parramatta, that they've got so many players that can play different positions, and it doesn't seem to faze them too much if they do, the halfback goes missing or he goes to the sideline for a bit of a rest, that someone else can just slot in that position.
Well, Gary, that's where you have to give the credit, don't you, to Brian Smith, that's the head coach, and to his coaching staff, that they've been able to develop the skills of so many of these players that they're able to do that. It just doesn't happen. No,
it doesn't. It goes right through all the grades here at Parramatta. They do such a good job, along with Noel Cleland, finding these young kids to come here and play. And then Brian Smith does the rest of them when they're in the training camp.
And that's why they are on top of the premiership, because they have the depth to cover whatever may happen. And David Solomona shows that he's not just a battering ram, uses the little kick, loose on the ground, eventually dived on by Scott Donald, touched by North Queensland, so the tackle count restarts. And it's only 15 metres out from the line.
Well, that's when you know that things aren't going your way, when Dave Solomona does a little rubber and then you get the ball back and you're hot on attack, and here goes Solomona back inside to him off Drew.
And flicks a little pass back, which is taken by Daniel Wagon. The sun is gone, the rain is back with us. They're 10 metres from scoring. Jason Kalis decides to wind up and have a go himself and gets to only 3 metres from the line. Drew, he runs himself, now gives it away to Butner, who fires a long pass, which is going to be picked up by Luke Burton. Burton will go through and dive for the line. Did well, Luke Burton. He realised that he may have been caught just a little short, but did the right thing. He got low and dived, and knew that if he was caught, the ground being greasy, he was every chance to slide over, and a very good try. Luke Burton scores, 34-0 it is.
I'll tell you, one of the players I've been impressed with throughout the whole year has been Brad Drew. His work around the dummy half area has been absolutely sensational. They know they can get the ball out nice and wide. They've got plenty of players. Brian Jallick gets caught in two minds whether to come in. He did, and then he steps back inside. Luke Burke comes up with another good try there for the Parramatta Eels, but Brad Drew starts all off, gets out nice and wide, and they were short for numbers once again. Some of their players in North Queensland are playing up and then some are playing slide, and that is why they are getting caught out there on that right side.
Luke Burt, the try scorer. His kicking style, in fact, shades of Jason Taylor.
Probably practices with the great man.
And with a similar result, I can tell you. Jason Taylor would take that one, no doubt. That's as good a kick from the sideline in these conditions as you will see. Jason Taylor or no Jason Taylor. 36-0.
Absolutely tremendous. Takes his time, lines it up, beautiful, strikes it perfectly. I'll tell you what, as you said, they have got everything covered here at Parramatta. One thing they have got covered too is the premiership table, leading after the 20 rounds they were on. 30 points will take them certainly to 32 and 3 points clear of anyone else in the race.
It's not only the 36 points that they've got on the board that would be pleasing Brian Smith, it's the 0 that the Cowboys have. Because when it comes to this part of the season, Gary Freeman, as you well know, it's the defence in the big games that wins you matches, and they're defending as well, if not better, than any other team.
They are, and they're so tough around that record. We've got those young guys that will push up forward all the time long, like Nathan Haimarsh, Ian Haimarsh, Jason Kalis, Nathan Kalis. So they've just got an abundance of talent here.
And I suppose you can say that their defence hasn't been put under great pressure today by North Queensland, but you have to remember that they are playing a man short Parramatta, and it's the way their defence has been that simply hasn't allowed North Queensland to put any pressure on an attack.
Well, I think the big thing with North Queensland, the way they have attacked, I think they've done probably a little bit too one-out stuff. And, you know, they're taking the ball forward and making half yards. But, I mean, on the edges of the ruck, that's where some of the holes are. And that's where Nathan Feeney, who's playing at number 7 now, needs to try and take control of that ruck.
Shepherd's pass for Bowman. Looks to get on the outside of David Violecki. That ball knocked backwards. Thought it came off Parramatta. The referee hasn't restarted the tackle count. I thought there was a Parramatta hand in there. However, back to Peter Jones. Just find no way of getting through the middle of this Parramatta defence. It's just simply like a brick wall. And that referee had called held.
Because I thought he surrendered. Yeah, ball and loose is this way. Sorry. Ball and loose is here. Hey, it was accidental. Yeah. No, attacking tee.
What happened there?
Neutral. It was just, I'd called it too quick. He got rid of it. Attacking tee. No. Ball in.
North Queensland scrum feed, and Shepherd again out on the blind side to Paul Bowman. 25 metres out from the Parramatta line. Parramatta playing a man short with PJ Marsh having been set off. Peter Jones, no way through for Jones. Again, Violecki comes up very quickly in a smothering tackle. Daniel Strickland up to the line, but there's three of them swamping to get him. Led first by Solomona.
Hands off. Get square, Jason.
Shepherd
Carlos.
in behind the line to Nathan Feen. Another one in behind the line to Bowen, who flicks it up for Jeff Bell. And Bell gets to 3 metres out, but Butner takes his legs from underneath him. Feen across field for Valentine. Over the top is Jason Kalis, making sure he can't get a pass away.
Get your hands away, Jason.
This is the last now for the Cowboys. Kicked back across field by Nathan Feen, up into the end goal, and up above the pack goes Scott Donald to take it well. Terrific defence, Parramatta.
Very good defence, but poor attack once again by North Queensland, who really need to make sure they look at the open side.
It's offside. No, it's a restart here. All the penalties come from here. Hey, because it's a restart.
The referee saying that no one was back on side correctly. Correct decision there. And Parramatta, they need an average of 22 points a game for the rest of the season to become the highest scoring team of all time. That's probably one of their goals that they've got left, because they are absolutely destroying sides out there week after week.
Solomona plays the ball. Hodgson elects to have a little scamper from dummy half. Only made a few metres though before he was tackled. Nathan Hindmarsh scored a double in the first half. Jason Kalis. And this tackles very much against the Cowboys. And that's just from the relentless pressure of Parramatta. Oh, another good work by Brad Drew to run, fend off one, and then pick up a running Ian Hindmarsh. Here's the last coming up for the Eels. They're 40 metres out from the line. That kick has come off Valentine, rebounded back. It wasn't played out intentionally, so they're still on the last. Kick this time by Violecki. Holds up for Matthew Bowen. Bowen brings it out from his own 20. Now shows it, tries to clap on the speed. Runs into Nathan Hindmarsh's tackle. And a penalty.
Just roll to the side. Easy, roll to the side.
Yes, I don't know if his coach would be happy if he just rolled to the side there. Mark Oaten, very easy said than done. When the referees say they roll to the side, I don't think Bryce Smith will be telling him to do that just quietly.
Is he entitled to say to the referee, I can't? Brian Smith said I'm not allowed to.
You won't be here Monday morning for the video session.
Feen getting it in behind for Paul Bowman. Bowman almost up to the 20. He's tackled by Ian Hindmarsh. Feen. Turn back for Nick Patterson. Patterson dumped to ground though in the tackle of Jason Kalis. Quick play the ball away to Gaddis. They're 10 metres out from the line. Bowen has a runner back on the inside in Sean Valentine. The pass travelled forward though. Called by the touch judge. Forward pass North Queensland. So this will be a scrum feed 10 metres out from the Parramatta line, going the way of the Eels.
There's the forward pass here. Bowen's probably been one of North Queensland's best players. Probably need to pop the ball back on the outside rather than the inside. They had it covered up there, the Parramatta forwards.
Jamie Lyon had a wonderful first half. Jamie Lyon, every time he touched the ball, created havoc for the Cowboys' left-hand side defence. Was instrumental in setting Scott Donald up for his couple of tries. Lovely pass away to Michael Butner. Butner kicks ahead and tries to chase himself. He should get the bounce. He does. Oh, great try. Terrific way to celebrate his 100th first-grade game for this club, Parramatta. He scored the first try, Michael Butner, and that's his second.
What? No, that was all right.
The referee here just going to the video referee. And he's just going to check the grounding of the ball, but tremendous work by Nathan Hindmarsh once again. Hit, spun into the tackle, offloaded. This is what he's trying to check now, just to make sure he got it down. And that will be a try. I'll tell you what, good decision by the referee though, to do that. He was in a position to make a decision.
That's a try. And a try goes the way of Michael Buettner. A day that really will always belong to Jason Taylor, but this man, Michael Buettner, will remember it for all the right reasons as well. 40 points to nil.
This is good work here. A little chip over the top there. Fullback Matthew Bowen had nowhere to go. He just hit the stand his ground. Another great play by the Parramatta Eels.
He looked just for a moment to see if there was someone in support. Brett Hodgson was coming up in support, but he realised then that he'd be better off just chipping over the top. The bounce favoured him. Great skill, Michael Buettner, and a very good try indeed. The rain has stopped again, thank goodness, and the sun comes back out.
I thought I was back home.
Yes.
I thought I was back home.
I didn't want to mention that about New Zealand weather. Brett Hodgson. No trouble with the conversion of the Michael Buettner try, and it's 42 points to nil in favour of Parramatta.
Just how much has Glenn Morrison been missing for North Queensland? That's a big ask you've got to say to yourself here, though. He was so good against the Dragons last week, and then he goes missing. He does a lot of the go forward.
Yeah, but they are playing North Queensland, remember, against a 12-man side, with a man sent off Parramatta. They're the ones that have done all of the scoring. 42 points to nil. They're making it look pretty easy as Andrew Ryan bringing that back on the first return. Played back by David Violecki, away to Drew. And they just get that roll on Parramatta. Couple of settling runs. Now Luke Burt, he makes about 5 metres out of dummy half.
You can just see there the possession there, 61% to the Eels and the Cowboys. Well, having not much ball, it doesn't matter how many men you have on your side, but you only have 13, but the guys who've got 12 have really starved them the ball. Good work.
On the last and on halfway is where Michael Buettner kicks. That wind has died down at the moment, so that kick was able to get much more territory than it would have earlier in the day. Matthew Bowen threw a terrible pass. I don't think Trent Lease expected that. And even if he did expect it, he wouldn't have expected it where it came to him. It was a terrible pass by Matt Bowen.
Yeah, the ball just seemed to like slip out of his hands. And Trent Lease, well, actually what Trent Lease is saying, that ball hit my foot,
yeah.
You know, and he hasn't knocked the ball on.
I suppose the referee, when he knew that there was a hand down there, would assume that some part of the hand has touched the ball. In matter of fact, it only really hit the leg, so...
Take one, get off, Matthew.
It was a terrible pass. Still an all. And what it does do is allow Parramatta to be only 3 metres out from the line where Wagon plays it. From dummy half goes Ian Hindmarsh. This time he is driven back.
Stand up now, hands away.
5 metres out. Played back to Brad Drew. Then to Hodgson. Away to Ryan.
4, stand with the ball now, stand with the ball.
Andrew Ryan plays it on 4. Wagon. Getting it wide this time for Michael Buettner. Trying to get on the outside of Shepherd. Now sends his pass away for Violecki, who unloads to Luke Burt. Burt tackled by Jones. This is the final tackle coming up now. Michael Buettner kicking across field towards Scott Donald. Donald goes for it. That's been knocked backwards, picked up by Trent Lease, and he's pushed over the touchline. Oh, would you believe it? Well, smart thinking, Parramatta. Very smart thinking indeed, Jamie Lyon. He realised that they hadn't got the ball, but the next best thing was simply to push the fellow who did into touch.
Oh, can you believe it? He'd done a good work there, Trent Lease, in grabbing the ball. He thought there was open field there to score probably an 85-metre try, but this man here on the screen there has pushed them out, and they've got the ball back on attack.
And it is that man, Jamie Lyon, who could end up scoring a try. He's over the line. Has he got it down? I think he has. I think that's a try. Mark Oaten doesn't even bother going to the video referee. Gives the try to Jamie Lyon. Well done, Jamie Lyon. He got them the scrum feed with a smart piece of work to push Trent Lease over the line and then scores the try himself.
Well, how easy is the football once you have the ball in your hand? It's a lot easier to make it as many tackles as these guys here from North Queensland have done. And poor defence there, you must say, from the scrum. They didn't really come up their line once there. They started the slide. Nathan Feener's the man. He just drives with his legs. Trent Lease comes in to help. Bowen comes in to help. Doesn't get there and gets it down. There she is. That's a try. Good decision, Mark Oaten, once again.
Geez, had a good game, Jamie Lyon, today. Isn't this a luxury for a side like Parramatta to be able to give someone like Brett Hodgson goal-kicking practice on a day like today? And he's done it so well. Here's the kick. This one won't swing back in. The first one he's missed, Brett Hodgson, but it is 46 points to 0. Parramatta lead North Queensland midway through the second half here at Parramatta Stadium. As the ball set for the restart. This kick, which went behind a couple and then bounces up for Luke Burt.
I think they were both calling for the ball there, Violecki and Brad Drew. They both decided, well, we'll both leave it alone. Give it to someone else to take it up.
David Violecki is tackled. He's 22 metres out from his own line. And this is Ryan. Jason Kalis now starts to wind up and crashes his way into the defence. Brad Drew, again from dummy half. That's been touched by North Queensland, knocked on by North Queensland as they regather. Michael Luck picked it up.
Because it hit out the black, right? Then went that one. That's out.
Saying that the ball was thrown forward anyway.
Yeah, well,
it's hit his hand. He hasn't really attacked the ball, so
the ruling is, yes, that it went forward off Brad Drew, which was the initial mistake. So a let-off for North Queensland. You can have a let-off when you're down 46-0. Wasn't it? Straight through to Brett Hodgson. Hodgson now trying to get on the outside of Jellick. Has Violecki back on his inside. He slipped away from tackles. He's still running the little will-o'-the-wisp. And he's only 18 metres out from the line. Back to Drew. Now Violecki. Tackle by Shepherd. 9 metres from scoring. David Violecki plays it to Drew and then to Jason Kalis. Oh, a feeble attempt to tackle to try and stop him. He's almost over the line. He simply pushed through the attempted tackle of McDonald. Played back once more to Drew. Bowen goes for the intercept, knocks it on and then kicks it away in frustration.
Well, he probably thinks that we could save ourselves a little bit of time if they've got to go back and get that ball, which has travelled around about 50 or 60 metres. Like I said, he has been their best. Has been their best player, hasn't he? Matthew Bowen. A little bit unlucky there. This is the bust from the scrum. That ball just got pulled out and just caught by Hodgson on the spot. Once again, they're just attacking at will, aren't they, the Parramatta side?
Scrum feed to Parramatta. Away to Michael Butner. Has Jamie Lyon with him. A little flick pass for Scott Donald. He will get a hat-trick against his North Queensland mates. Number 3 for Scott Donald, and that brings up 50. Parramatta 50, North Queensland 0.
Well, that just comes from the scrum where they had the ball, the North Queensland side, but once again they've come up with another mistake. And on the try line, once again, Matthew Bowen was the man who tried to take the intercept. What about the in and away of Matthew Bowen? That was absolutely great stuff. And the old flick pass. Well, he's had it all today, hasn't he? Jamie Lyon, absolutely outstanding. What's Matthew Bowen here? Bang! He just steps around and Michael Butner. That is very, very good pass there. Could have probably scored it himself, Jamie Lyon, but it's the way the Parramatta side have been playing. Look at them. They're all happy. Nathan Kalis riding the bike. Know where he's going. This man has had a magnificent day today. Scott Donald, 3 tries today.
And why are Parramatta such a strength in this premiership, the Telstra Premiership, and why are they leading? Because at the business end of proceedings, for the last 3 weeks or 3 games in a row, they've now passed 50. They beat Canberra by 50-22. Last week they beat Melbourne by 54-10. And now they lead North Queensland 50-0 with still 17 minutes remaining.
And how scary is that?
If you're in anyone but Parramatta, it's very scary.
It's very scary.
Brett Hodgson's kick once more online. Lovely kick, Brett Hodgson. 52 points to 0. North Queensland coach Murray Hurst just wishing that they'd ring the bell prematurely and let him get out of here.
It might make all those players actually run back to the airport to catch the plane the way that some of them have been tackling here today. Probably not their best performance by far, down by 52 points to 0.
Well, coming on the back of what was their best performance last week against the Dragons, so what a topsy-turvy premiership this is. We see the Dragons come out last night with a very big win. But they did play well last week. I take your point that they haven't got Glenn Morrison today, and that is a major blow for them. But they've just been outclassed today by a side that we reiterate is playing a man short and has since before half-time, with PJ Marsh having been set off for a late high tackle. Well, they led 30-0 at half-time, and even though they're a man short, they're leading 22-0 in the second half. And Brett Hodgson was almost in for another one.
Sorry, John, that was going to be an absolute bottler of a try there if he had held that ball. This little man here doing a great job around that ruck area once again. Look at the flick pass here. Oh, what about that?
Well, they're just busting them so easily through the middle, you would swear that it's North Queensland who's the man short in defence, and not Parramatta playing a man short.
I think that's what Murray has to be saying to when he does go through the video. Well, maybe you don't even show them this video. I think they know their poor performance here tonight. Today, I should say.
Crowd of over 13,000 here today for Jason Taylor Day. Unfortunately, because of the weather conditions, it's probably stopped another, I would think, at least 2,000 or 3,000 from coming. But the Parramatta fans, the Blue and Gold Army, are very happy with the way things are going. Michael Luck, 32 metres out his tackle. They're just playing for pride now, North Queensland. Shepherd gives it away to Feen. No way through the middle there from Feen. Just runs into a solid brick wall by the name of Andrew Ryan. And to be honest, they haven't looked like busting them once, North Queensland. Not once. And Peter Jones just driven back. The defence driving him back 10 metres from Feen. Now given wide, and that pass floated forward, and the referee and touch judge picked it up. Forward pass. Changeover. Parramatta get it. 12 inside their own half.
The option was right to run the ball on the last tackle because they were short on this open side here. You see, they could have got the ball on the outside. They had 3 men on the overlap at North Queensland against Parramatta's 1. So execution, very, very poor there.
Luke Burt. Tackle just short of halfway. Solomona has a run himself, Solomona, then unloads to Hodgson, who gets it away to Daniel Wagon. Wagon in traffic in centre field. Jason Kalis. Another hard run by Kalis. Picks up a pretty easy 10 metres, and then Drew. Quick play the ball. Out of dummy half goes Drew. Loses his footing, but the final tackle is coming up. They're 15 metres inside North Queensland territory. Drew slow to his feet. So too is George Gattis.
You all right, George?
Just with a cramp in the calf for... Ooh. George Gattis slowly to his feet now. He's okay. Play on. Final tackle. Kicked ahead for Daniel Wagon to chase through after it. Almost got to it. In fact, Jeff Bell was the one who was back first for the Cowboys and takes it 12 from his own line. Jellick. Just absolutely no way through the Parramatta defence. Their defence is just organised so well that even though they are defending a man short, they've never looked once like allowing the Cowboys to break them. Tim Madison. Madison unloads his pass, but the moment he does so, the defence simply just swarms through and puts Brian Jellick to ground. This is Gattis. Ball lost as he tried to give it to Paul Bowman and knocked on.
Poor decisions once again by North Queensland, trying to pass and plenty of traffic. They were spread right out here on this left-hand side of the field. They wanted that ball on that tackle, and Gattis decided that he was going to run down the short side where no one was at home.
Butner looking to get on the outside of Bowen. His pass for Jamie Lyon.
Tackle one, clear it,
One of the few times they've really been able to stop Lyon from making any ground. Daniel Wagon tries to come back down the short side, and Jamie Lyon backs up well and then keeps it alive for Hodgson. Working through the centre of the ruck, Hodgson, and was able to unload his pass. Kept alive, then going to be picked up by Nathan Hindmarsh. And he's 30 metres out on the second tackle, Hindmarsh. Drew Solomona tries to get past Michael Luck, gets the arm free. Solomona thought about unloading, wisely takes the tackle, quick play the ball to Drew, skirts out of dummy half. They're 5 metres, or make that 10 metres out from the line where the ball is played by Jason Kalis. Back to Drew, switch to Solomona, goes back towards the left-hand side, got around the first attempted tackle of Peter Jones. 5 metres out, last coming up. Hodgson kicks across field, out towards Scott Donald's wing, takes it, bats it back, picked up by Jamie Lyon. He will go in and score a double. It is absolutely as simple as that. Good work, Parramatta, but that is simply disgraceful defence by North Queensland. You can make all the excuses you like, but that is simply inexcusable. That was disgraceful defence.
No enthusiasm whatsoever, John, and that's been the problem for North Queensland throughout the day. Just watch this, Brett Hatchell. Plenty of time to put the kick over the top, and no one really making a decision to go for the ball. Donald does a very good job of getting the ball back. Trent Lees, someone needed to tie them up, put some pressure on somebody. Dummy half, Watson had plenty of time to kick the ball. Just watch this. If you're going to let him come down, you've got to make sure you put yourself in a position to receive the ball. He always batted it back and Lyon on song to score the try for the Parramatta Eels. As you said, defence has been woeful here for North Queensland once again on their flanks.
Brett Hodgson from on touch, or near touch. Similar position to where he converted that last try. And the kick just across the face of goal. Remains 56 points to nil with just under 10 minutes until full time.
Well, John, it wouldn't surprise me if they could actually score another couple of tries. That's a problem here for the Parramatta Eels this afternoon. As Vialecki gets it from the kickoff, he made plenty of yards. He's up to the 20 already.
In fact, gets 25 out from his own line, David Vialecki, where he plays the ball to Ryan. Just skirts infield a few metres. Drew holds it one, then shows it for Daniel Wagon. Solomona loses the ball. One of the rare Parramatta mistakes. David Solomona. The reaction says it all. Scrum feed to North Queensland. Can they score any points, North Queensland?
I think this is one of the few times they're actually going to get the ball right on the halfway. Maybe they can score a point.
In fact, they're 10 inside Parramatta's territory, but they haven't looked like making a bust as yet. Maybe this little man, Matthew Bowen, can. Inside to Trent Lease, but the defence just slides across quickly to get him 22 metres out. Bell from dummy half. Now to Peter Jones. Fiend runs a couple of metres, then gives it to Hetherington. On the third, he stopped. 12 from the line, penalty. Reefing the ball out.
Wait till I get you the mark. Nathan, easy, Nathan. Give you the mark first.
Nathan Fiend takes the penalty. 12 from the line, gives it to Tim Madison. Madison, just with blue and gold jerseys, swarming around him. Pulled to ground, 10 from the line. Back to Fiend. Now to Valentine. Unceremoniously dumped by Jason Kalis.
Let's bring it out, both of yous. Then David. Just bring it out. It's just when you get up over the perpendicular head starting to go down, okay? Yeah, but it's just bordering on dangerous.
Another penalty to North Queensland. They're still 11 metres from the line. No way through for Chris Shepherd. The crowd appealing for a penalty for a Shepherd from Shepherd. Not forthcoming.
Well, that was the second Shepherd that Shepherd's trying to put on another Shepherd in the game.
Jones.
Somebody get out there and direct them.
Nathan Fiend runs in to be the dummy half. Then away to Shepherd. His pass goes to Bowen. Holds it up, tries to skirt through himself. Pass around the corner. Intended for Trent Lease. He just couldn't control it, Matthew Bowen. The thought was right. And now Michael Butner goes down injured.
Matthew Bowen, like we've been saying in the last 40 minutes, has probably been their best player. At least he's electrifying. He's trying something. He's trying to get them over the line so they can get some face back when they go back to North Queensland. He's trying to get the ball around the back. It certainly didn't get there. The idea was right, but the execution once again has gone astray. Michael
Butner is still down with the trainers in back play. There he is, Michael Butner, just receiving tension on that right arm. As Solomona makes a break, and Hodgson, he just backs up everywhere, the little man. Then a pass back across field, which was intended for Luke Burt, but the ball lost.
Forward.
He's wonderful, Brett Hodgson. Probably shades of Terry Lamb. Whenever anybody makes a break, up the middle of the paddock, there's Brett Hodgson. He's always there in support.
Dave Solomona given a great ball. A little bit of footwork there, a bit of a right and left foot step. Tremendous effort there to get the ball away. You can only make sure you give those passes when people are backing up.
Great round of applause for Michael Butner as he leaves the field in his 100th first grade game for Parramatta, the club where he started his career. Playing his 100th for the club today. Scored a couple of tries as well. And a very generous round of applause from the Parramatta crowd of just over 13,000. Inside 5 minutes of the game remaining, 56 points to nil in favour of the Parramatta Eels. Here's Jason Kalis. Up the middle goes Ian Hindmarsh. 5 metres from scoring is where he'll play the ball. Away to Drew, then to Ryan. Ryan looking for Solomona coming around him. Couldn't get the pass away. Only centimetres short is where he'll play it on the last. Drew quickly whips it away to Wagon, tries to get a kick in, didn't come off for him, and Peter Jones picks it up for the Cowboys.
Very lucky for the Cowboys that Jones has picked up that ball, because they were going to get broken once again by this Parramatta side that are absolutely devastating today in their attack.
Stand up.
Michael Luck. He gets out to the 20 before he's tackled. I suppose they haven't looked like making a bust. The only one player, Gary Freeman, that you could say has at least put the defence in a couple of minds when he's had the ball, and that is young Matthew Bowen.
He's tried his little heart out, you know, and you've got to be saying to yourself, well, maybe he's better off around that ruck area where he can spark his forwards and back up his forwards rather than playing at the fullback spot. Plenty of pressure now will be put on the kicker from the Parramatta forwards.
Fiend able to give it away to Shepherd. Then it goes wide to Bowman and on to Jellick. Jellick hit in a good tackle. Knocked over by Luke Burt, made him lose the ball, and then Luke Burt does the wise thing, and not simply going on with the tackle, but diving on the loose ball. And Parramatta bring it back on the second to the halfway.
And that's the best thing about what Parramatta have done today. They haven't got carried away. They know what the scoreboard is doing. It's ticking over quite nicely, but they're doing all the little things correctly. Going forward first, then using the ball on the wide side or on that short side when they see necessary.
Jason Kalis runs it straight at Chris Shepherd and is stopped on the fourth. Hodgson. Ryan. Intended a short pass for Solomona. Jones picked it up. Then inside to Bell. Gets it away to Nathan Fiend. He was almost away, but dragged to ground by David Violecki coming from behind him and just lassoed the Cowboy. Peter Jones. 25 metres out from scoring. 2.5 minutes they had left to try and put at least a couple of points on the board.
I think the thing with North Queensland, they're just sending players up by themselves, you know. Michael Luck, once again, he's going up there, and they're just being tackled one off the ruck.
Hannay to Bell. Caught in a sandwich tackle by Jamie Lyon and Andrew Ryan. Jones back to the short side, on to Lease. Donald had him the moment he got the ball. Last tackle for the Cowboys. Hannay juggles it, then gets the left foot kick away, putting it into the in-goal area and taken by David Violecki. No problem at all for Violecki, and out to the 20 they run it for the restart. They want to get 60 on the board, and the quick tap is taken. Scott Donald. Tackled on the first. He's 30 from his own line. 1.5 minutes to go in this game. 56 points to 0 in favour of Parramatta on Jason Taylor Day. Ryan.
Stand up. Wait.
Drew whips it up for Solomona. Little flick pass by Solomona. The man who got it, yep, you guessed it, Brett Hodgson. Everywhere Solomona goes, he goes, and here's a high tackle made by Peter Jones. Remembering Parramatta have had a man sent off. The Blue and Gold Army are baying for blood.
I believe it may have hit the chest and then it's gone up, okay? Put it on report.
I think once you see this tackle, you'll see that Luke Burt. He's going down on the tackle anyway, probably looked worse than it was. He gets straight to his feet, does Luke Burt, and plays on. Peter Jones, I must say, he's probably been one of the best forwards out there for North Queensland at the same time.
Inside the final minute, Jamie Lyon, one of the stars of this game for the Eels today, gets up to the 20 and plays it to Drew, who gives it back to Scott Donald, who's looking for 4 against his old club. Jason Kalis. Then away to Wagon. Long pass goes to Solomona. Solomona floats the ball up. It's gone loose. Wagon does brilliantly to come across and clean that up. Good work, Daniel Wagon. Not simply prepared to throw the pass and let the others do the work. Immediately starts to back up, and it paid dividends. Here's Brett Hodgson. Hodgson getting through. Calls the pass back on the inside. Luke Burt will come around and score underneath the post, and they hit 60.
What about the crowd? They have gone absolutely off. They knew that they could do it in the 80th minute. It is 60-0, the Parramatta Eels over the North Queensland side. I tell you what, the Parramatta Eels are very, very happy with that try on their Luke Bird. Tremendous effort. They go around and give everyone a bit of a shake, but once again on that short side, Brett Hodgson did a magnificent job. Got on the outside of Michael Luck once again, throws the ball back inside. Nothing that Matthew Bowen could do about that. Luke Bird, an absolute speedster in the game. About 15 metres, but it is this man here, Brett Hodgson, that's gone and in and away on Michael Luck. Got on the outside of him. Ryan Jarrett falls over, and then he comes back on the inside to score the try, and Luke Bird.
This goal kick will make it 62-0, and that will equal the worst ever defeat North Queensland have ever suffered. Twice they've been beaten by 62. They got beaten 66-4 by Canterbury in 1993. In 1995, and 62-0 by Norths in 1998. And today, an unenviable record. They've also again been beaten by 62. Parramatta Eels 62, North Queensland 0. Terrific win by Parramatta because they played all of the second half and a couple of minutes of the first half. A man short after PJ Marsh was set off. But the day will always belong to this little man, Jason Taylor. A great day for him. He is now the record holder, the point-scoring record holder, the most points by any player in Australian rugby league history. Terrific day for Jason Taylor. A wonderful record when you consider the great players that have gone before him, starting from Dally Messenger and people like Dave Brown and Michael Cronin in recent times, and Ken Irvine, and of course Darryl Halligan. But this man, now the record holder, Jason Taylor's day. Full time here at Parramatta Stadium. Parramatta winning by 62 points to 0 over North Queensland. On behalf of Gary Freeman, I'm John McCoy bidding you good afternoon from Jason Taylor Day at Parramatta Stadium.